Third places, the places we go to converse with others and connect with our community outside of school and work. For some, it's a cafe. For others, it's the gym. But for the majority of us Americans, it's some random parking lot you and your friends always end up at one point in the night. Now, this wouldn't be the case if we had places to go, but if you don't live in a major city, your options for a third place are very limited. To make matters worse, since the 2000s, third places have been disappearing, leaving us to hang out in cramped apartments and boba shop parking lots. Today, I'm going to be going over the current state of third places, why they disappeared, and of course, why they mattered in the first place. Works for me. I'm just getting texts from my friends about what we're going to do today. I'm going to hang out at a creek. That's how bad the situation is here. Let's start with the modern landscape of third places and the problems with it. The first issue is you gotta pay to be in the majority of third places, which has always been a thing, but I feel like it's more prevalent now. When getting together with friends, you usually just default to grabbing food together. Not only is it a pain to find a place that no one associates with food poisoning trauma, but food is just so expensive now. It's not even funny. I don't have a joke for this. I'm just gonna move on. Speaking of expensive, a really popular third place now is boba shops. And if you're a little bit older and you don't know what a boba shop is, it's basically a frozen yogurt place, but the inside doesn't look like Pee Wee Herman's house or the Simpsons household. I used to go to a local boba place all the time until I realized the price of boba and the sugar content were racing each other to see who would be first to bankrupt me or kill me, respectively. Another paid option is the gym, but I don't know, man. It always felt awkward having a conversation with someone while they're in the middle of the most intense set of hip thrusts. So that Chaperone Grammy performance was pretty good. I'm gonna wait for you over here. I don't like this eye contact thing we're doing, dude. If you're savvy, you can find places to hang out at for free, but those aren't without their flaws as well. Something I like is the mall, obviously. You can walk around, watch your friends shop, or converse with the employees. Would be pretty sick if Paul Blart was here right now. I also like going to Guitar Center to mess around on every instrument in existence, but it feels weird doing that too often. They know I'm never gonna buy anything, and I feel like they don't appreciate all the 80s rock riffs I learned to impress them. Like they almost get mad when I play Sweet Child of Mine to brighten their day a little bit. Sometimes instruments just aren't doing it, and you want to play with something that's alive. That's why pet stores exist. I go to a local bird store every once in a while, and it's really fun when there isn't a big-ass bird practicing its eardrum shattering techniques. I realize you didn't come here for a tour guide perspective on cheap and fun day ideas, so I should probably move on. But first, I gotta mention the park. That is like the default free third place, or the library too, but you can't scream in there, so it's just not fun. If you work until 5, like the majority of people, you have about 20 minutes to get anywhere if you want to get there before closing time. Shoot, did I forget my... Oh, no, I got it. Damn it! This is one of the bigger problems with third places. If you're not in a major city, this shit will be closed if you stop to tie your shoelace on the way there. During COVID, a lot of places cut their hours back. Someone get these people a newspaper. That shit's over. You can close past 10 again. Since you found your way to this video, I assume you're over the age of 8. But under the age of 65, so your bedtime isn't 8 p.m. Sometimes when you're done with the main activity of the hangout, you and the boys finished building the Jelkinator, you want to grab a bite or just get out of the 200-degree apartment. You have like 4 options at this point in the night. Number 1, you can go to a bar with a prowling cougar, and I don't mean like the cool wildcat kind. Number 2, you can go to a gas station for a granola bar and chocolate milk, and potentially a switchblade in your abdomen. Number 3, you can go to a drive-thru where you will never get what you order. You're just going up, basically pressing shuffle on the entire menu and praying you get something edible. Or number 4, you can go to Denny's because your local diner never fixed their shortened COVID hours. Now, if you want to go with number 4, I hope you read The Art of Persuasion beforehand, because it is such a pain to convince people to go to Denny's. I don't know why no one wants to go. It's not my fault you tried ordering hollandaise sauce before at Denny's and it tasted like battery acid. This is Denny's. You don't take risks here. If you somehow happen to have money and you found a place that's open past 3 p.m., you still have another hurdle to get past to enjoy a third place. Since the 2000s, more and more places have been getting rid of their seating options or going fully takeout only. And this has only gotten worse because of COVID. Apparently, I'm the only person in the world who has this gripe, but I'm gonna share it anyways to see if there are other sane people out there. I will never order a full pizza. I will never order food at a restaurant and then take it home and eat it. If I want to eat at home, I will just cook food. Except pizza. Pizza's the exception to this rule. Why would I pay restaurant prices and not enjoy the experience of eating out with others? Plus, the food is soggy by the time you get home, and it comes in all these shitty containers and plastic bags, which are pretty wasteful. It takes just as long to drive and pick up your food or wait for the delivery as it does to just get off your lazy ass and cook. And that's coming from me. I am a lazy ass with a big heart who likes long walks on the beach. Either eat out or don't. Why are you doing this half-assed experience of eating soggy Olive Garden at home? Staying on the topic of COVID-related reasons, some places decided to start using half their restaurant as storage space and then never bothered restoring their seating. There's just boxers, containers, and DJ kits, and printers all over the tables so you can only get takeout. Guys, there are other places you can rent. You don't need to have this whole seating area if you're not going to use it. You could save money by moving into a smaller place. The sad thing is, there used to be a place where the environment was casual, the hours were chill, and the food was delectable. The Target Cafe. For the past 10 years, this wonder of a third place has been ripped out of Targets across the nation and replaced with Starbucks. Because 3 Starbucks per square mile just wasn't enough. I never got to truly experience this, so I'm a little bitter. You had Pizza Hut Express, fresh popcorn, pretzels, ices, and more, all in the same place. You didn't have to wait to be seated, and if you realized, oh shoot, I gotta pick up deodorant because I got a date with this 2007 queen tomorrow, you could just walk your ass 50 feet, check out, and then come back to the hangout. Target cafes still exist here and there, but I think all of the ones by me are just Starbucks now. When I was younger, my mom would promise to get me the popcorn from the Target Cafe if I was a good little boy during our shopping trip, and I don't know if I was just really forgetful and she would get us to slip out before I realized, or if I was a really bad kid, but I got to have that popcorn like thrice in my life. With the way the world has changed in the past few years, it's obvious why these third places are dying out. First of all, they're expensive to keep. If people are still gonna order your food or product, why waste money on furniture, its upkeep, the labor, and all the other things associated with having a seating area? Plus, your rent is cheaper if you only have room for your kitchen and a waiting area the size of a mouse's ass cheek. The lack of seats also leads to less loitering, and it keeps out the bad crowd that you don't want hanging out in your store, which leads us to our second reason. It prevents loitering and it keeps out the bad crowd that you don't want hanging out in your store. Now, when I say bad crowd, I don't mean some homeless guy who wants a cup of water or to take a piss in a toilet. I'm talking about the broccoli head TikTok teenagers who are gonna make a mess and leave you to clean up the silly string and the overpriced streetwear brand stickers they leave behind. I watched a kid accidentally smash a window of a place that didn't have indoor seating because he was sitting on his e-bike eating his little cookie, so that was funny in a cosmic sort of way. The third reason, and probably the biggest, is that people don't necessarily want these places anymore. They can order food to their house. They have a home gym, a home arcade, a home theater, a home library, a home boy, and a home office. If you do want to work outside the house, you just go to a cafe, which is why Target committed this crime against humanity. People don't need third places anymore. So they think. If you've been alive for the past 5 years, you know all too well that third places matter. Our second place, which is work or school, has been dissolved into our first place, which is home. But that still begs the question, who's on first? With prices rising and open hours being cut back, it's getting increasingly difficult to go out. but it's still important to do so. Third places matter because first of all, they get you out of the house. Working, relaxing, and sleeping all in the same place messes with your head. Humans are not used to that. Can you imagine the world's smartest man 1,000 years ago? He would have a super long stick so he could plow the fields from the comfort of his potato sack bed. The second reason is that going to third places helps local businesses. Sure, a lot of the places I mentioned were huge corporations, but local cafes, shopping centers, libraries, pet stores, and I don't know, comic book shops still exist. They really need your help now more than ever. And third places let you connect with others, usually with the same interests. After you finish school, making friends is no longer about having matching pencils or playing the same flash game during a lecture. You gotta go out of your way to meet people. Third places are important to the human experience. I feel like I'm in The Shining on days where I just stay at home and work all day. I go to the library every week to get out of the house while working, and I'm looking to branch off into different working spaces, so if you have any recommendations, please leave them in the comments. I visited New York City last year and was so hyped about all the places you can sit and how the city is basically designed to keep the hangout going. They got free seating throughout the whole city called stoops. If I sat on the steps of someone's house here, I would have 2 holes in my chest, a lawsuit against me, and I would be getting cyberbullied when the Nest camera footage of me drops on Facebook. I want my Monk's Cafe or Groovy Smoothie that doesn't close at 9 p.m. But I guess until I find that, I'll be hanging out in parking lots and Denny's with my friends when we accidentally take too long buckling our seatbelts on the way somewhere. I got an Instagram now. Follow that at chon.digital. I also got clothes and other stuff coming soon, so just type chon.digital straight into your browser. We are at 18,000 subscribers at the time of this recording, so thank you for whatever milestone we end up hitting by the time this comes out. Freak Nation has really been rising up. Chondle that subscribe button for videos about basically anything, and thank you for watching.